We have an unbelievable story about Hillary Clinton here that broke at the end of last week. A local reporter in Denver says that she used a static noise machine at a fundraising event to prevent the press and the public from hearing her speech. Ugh, isn't that precious? So Huffington Post explains here, the fundraiser was Thursday at the residence of Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper. The event was private, but since it took place outside in a tent in Hickenlooper's yard, anyone nearby would be able to hear much of what was going on. But apparently the Clinton campaign wanted to make sure that didn't happen. According to CBS Denver reporter Stan Bush, who tweeted that the campaign pointed a white noise machine at the street just before Hillary Clinton spoke. So this isn't a thing. Who does that? Nobody does that. That's ridiculous. When I read something like that, I immediately think of Gaddafi or dictators in the third world who are I must silence and stop the press from hearing what I say. Now, again, somebody can make the counter-argument, well, she's in a private residence. It's not an event that's open to the public, so piss off. She has every right to do that. Except she's running for president of the United States of America, and Bernie Sanders, for example, he's done events at private residences, so I'm not against that. There's nothing wrong with that. But he has reporters at every single one where they can hear what he says, and then they, can report about it in the newspaper or wherever the fuck they print their stuff. So this is an extra level of secrecy, and this is an extra level of censorship that doesn't exist with Bernie Sanders, and it doesn't exist with many on the Republican side, because, let's be honest about it, Hillary Clinton does say things behind closed doors to donors that she wouldn't say for the general public to hear, because she's doing the bidding of those donors. She's gonna, this is the way it works. You give me money, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, so okay. I'm in the White House, you call me, you need a new special tax loophole, or you need a subsidy, or you need this, or you need that. Okay, let's slip that as an amendment into H.R. 732, and when it gets to my desk, I'll be more than happy to sign it. For those who are pretending that's not the case here, how naive are you? It's naive, willful, ignorance, stupidity, I don't know what it is, but it's one of those things. It's gotta be. You can't possibly believe that she put up this static noise machine because she was making the same point she was in a debate or in a speech. You don't believe that, right? You can't believe that. Who can believe that? If that was the case, you know what would have happened? She wouldn't put up a fucking static noise machine. She wouldn't do it. But she put it up because there's no doubt that behind closed doors, she says all the things that she doesn't want the public to hear. And then people wonder, I don't get it. Why does she have such a high untrustworthy rating? Seriously? Seriously? Because of shit like this. She won't... it's unbelievable to me that she makes these arguments about the transcripts with Goldman Sachs, where Bernie's like, hey, if you got paid that much for it, it must be a fantastic speech. Shouldn't the rest of us hear it? Release it. And her bullshit sidestep argument is, well, I'll only release it if everybody else releases theirs. And Bernie's like, done. I just released mine. I don't have any, so I release it all. And she's like, no, I mean the Republicans too. Oh, well, isn't that a fucking precious argument? I need the Republicans to be held to the same standard as me. So what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that you and the Republicans are the same? We're supposed to look at you as the same as them? You want to be held to the same standard as them? Well, they got really fucking low standards. So okay, we'll hold you to those low standards. The fact that she thinks that's a counter-argument, it's not an argument. You're admitting that, hey, I got something to hide. And again, if somebody makes a counter-argument here about personal privacy rights, no, that applies to people who are not running for president of the United States. You're running to represent us. So if you want our vote, you must prove to us that you're the kind of person that we want in there. So it's not the same thing as a private citizen who's a fucking accountant and his privacy. Okay? I'm running for president and I gave a speech to this really powerful bank that committed fraud. And I'm not going to release the transcript because I said really favorable things to them behind the scenes. Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. So if you're defending this, you're part of the problem here. Let's get that out there and have that totally understood. If you look at this and you're trying to do mental gymnastics and rationalization, and you're comical. Politics is not for you if that's what you're doing. It's just not. Like, the whole idea of politics is supposed to be about policy substance. How do we affect people's lives in a positive way? How do we come up with programs that help them on the economic front? How do we increase liberty and freedom on the social front and the personal front? How do we bring about a society that fosters happiness and, peace and prosperity? How do we do that? If you're so dedicated to your candidate and it's such blind faith that you're willing to say, I'm going to defend an event where she put up a static noise machine so you don't hear what she's saying at a private residence where she's raising money, then it's obvious to me that you care more about the person than the principle. And if you care more about the person than the principle, this is not your field. It's just, you totally miss the point of politics. And you're a fucking lemming, you're a sheep, and you need to know that.